Good morning, crime community. Yesterday on my stream, I was talking about my aunt Donna McElwaine. Today, I continue to talk about her. Yesterday, if you missed my stream, I talked about three articles that I was going to get in the paper from the Glendale Historical Society about what they found. Well, I just got the articles yesterday, so I'm about to share them with you. First article, let's see, July 11th. LA Times, 1935. That was the day after Donna died. The Sacramento Union, July 11th, 1935. So Donna made the Sacramento paper when she died in Redondo Beach. Why did they call Sacramento when the drowning was in Redondo Beach? I'll tell you why. Because Hearst Castle is involved in this, and that's in the Sacramento district, allegedly. That's the second article from the Sacramento Union. Oh, the DA just called up and said, well, we got a drowning here in Santa Monica, so we thought you'd like to know about it in Sacramento. Okay, the last article is dated from the Los Angeles Times. The day Donna died, July 10th, 1935. I think we'll start with this one since it's the day Donna died. Okay, we're just going to read out what it says. Mary Nolan, I don't know if you know who that is a big-time actress. Mary Nolan files lawsuit against Annie Mannix, Los Angeles Times, 1923 to 1993, July 10th, 1935. Mary Nolan files suit against Eddie Mannix, New York, July 9th. Mary Nolan of the Stage and Screen, it was disclosed today, has filed a suit for $500,000 damages against Annie J. Mannix. You know how much $500,000 was in 1935? Yeah, I know. Hollywood associate, motion picture producer, charging him with assaulting her physically and with her using his influence to prevent her from establishing work. Does that sound like a familiar pattern? The suit was disclosed when Supreme Court Justice Schmuck signed a warrant of establishment against any property the producer may have in his state. Details of charges. In 4 separate causes of action, Ms. Nolan said that she met Mannix in 1927 in Hollywood, and from the fall of 1927 until 1930, they lived together as man and wife in a suite at the hotel in Los Angeles. They later moved to a private home, she charged, because he thought it too contemptuous to continue at the hotel, too conspicuous to continue at the hotel. This is hard to read because it's from a microfiche. Miss Nolan, who recently appeared in the small Jackson Heights nightclub in her apartment to come back, charged that she and Mannix lived as man and wife until one night in 1931 when he woke her up in her bed and violently and criminally attacked her. Says Operation Force. She said she was taken semi-conscious to a hospital in Los Angeles for an emergency operation. The producer, Miss Nolan charged, attacked her again in the hospital. Nice guy, huh? Vice president of MGM. Was my grandfather's boss, worked for Howard Strickland and Eddie Mannix. This is the day my Aunt Donna died. This was going on in the paper. The producer, Miss Nolan, charged, attacked her again in her hospital room. As a result of these attacks, she declared she was forced to undergo 20 operations. In the second case of action, actress declared Mannix again attacked her on my birthday in 1931, 20 years before the day I was born, February 19th, while she was recuperating at Santa Monica Beach. Mannix, she charged, threatened her if she did not leave the West Coast. Get the hell out of town. Charges he struck her. In November 1933, Miss Nolan charged in her third action. Mannix came to her apartment on East 44th Street, New York City, and struck her. In the fourth complaint, she said, that was in the spring of 1931 while she was appearing at the Mastbaum Theater in Philadelphia and receiving $2,750 a week. You know how much money that is a week today? $3,000 a week. What is it, about 300 grand a week? 200 grand a week in 1935? So she's making $202,750 for a week engagement. Her second week was canceled because of Mannix's influence. So she went from $2,750 a week to the big zero. Is using his influence now to prevent her from attaining screen and stage engagements. Mannix declines comments on charges. Of course he did. When informed of Mary Nolan's charges against him in New York, Eddie Mannix, associate producer at MGM Studios, said, "I have no comment to make. Miss Nolan was well known in Hollywood, where she was engaged in various motion picture roles. One of her latest ventures here came to grief in 1932. This was a gown shop she ran in Wilshire Boulevard. She was convicted of violating labor laws in the management of her shop." You think when she's making $3,000 a week, she's got to work in a dress shop? This is a line of crap. Okay, here's a picture of Eddie Mannix and Mary Nolan from 1935, the day Donna McElwaine died. That's not relevant, right? Okay, we'll move to the Sacramento Union, where I don't know why the hell they got word of it, since they're not in the LA jurisdiction. But there's a little thing here I can show you from the paper. They combined 2 drownings into one article. We'll start with the Lake Arrowhead drowning. This has nothing to do with my Aunt Donna. Girls' school drowns. Lake Arrowhead, July 10th. A 16-year-old San Fernando high school girl, Betty Plummer. They showed her picture in the Los Angeles Times version of this, not Donna McElwaine, even though she's filmed by Clarence Sinclair Bull. They put Plumlee's picture first, and I'll tell you why. Betty Plummer was drowned today in Lake Arrowhead. Riptide drowns girl, Manhattan Beach, California. July 10th, drowned out at sea by a riptide. Donna McElwaine, 17, daughter of Don McElwaine, well-known publicist, film publicist, was drowned here this afternoon. Okay. So now we're going to the Los Angeles Times, the day after she died, Thursday morning, July 11th, 1935. Here's the blown-up picture that they blew up for me. The 2 drownings that we just talked about combined into one article. Here's a picture of Mrs. Betty Plummer. They didn't put a picture of Donna McElwaine in here, even though she was filmed by Clarence Sinclair Bull. So we'll just read the entire article. 2 schoolgirls die in bathing tragedies, even though one was in Lake Arrowhead, the other was in Hermosa Beach. Overpowering currents of the sea and the placid depths of the mountain lake claims the lives of 2 high school girls in Southern California resorts yesterday. Mrs. Donna McElwaine, 17 years of age, of Hermosa Beach, was drowned when caught in a riptide while swimming near her home, and Miss Betty Plummer, 16, of San Fernando, sank to her death in Lake Arrowhead. The crew of the CCC boys dragged the lake, recovering Mrs. Plummer's body. It was found in the West Bay near where she sank. Miss McElwaine, daughter of Don McElwaine, motion picture studio publicist, writer, found herself in the grip of a riptide while swimming about 300 yards offshore. I can tell you for a fucking fact that my aunt wasn't swimming offshore at 300 yards. Someone pushed her off the pier, allegedly. Coast Guard called. Other bathers saw her distress signals and summoned Captain Frank Walton, in charge of the Hermosa Beach lifeguard. Captain Walton swam out with a torpedo buoy, and when he reached the point where the girl had thrown up her arms, she swam out 300 yards and then threw up her arms, sure. The girl had thrown up her arms and had gone down. He dived and brought her to the seashore and swam with her back to shore. An inhalator squad, whatever the hell that is, worked her for more than 2 hours. They worked on her with an insulator squad for over 2 hours, but there's no record of this. This is what is called a cover-up. pay off the coroner, pay off the police department, pay off the head surfboard guy. The inhaler squad worked on her for over 2 hours before abandoning her of reviving her. The body was taken to the Orlando White Mortuary. Orlando White Mortuary? Well, according to Forest Lawn, she was taken by Soy Smith and Salisbury. So we got 2 different mortuaries here. That's what's typical in a cover-up. That's called the mortuary switch. That's why they won't answer one word about Donna, not one word. Becoming exhausted while swimming in Lake Arrowhead, Miss Plummer, was the girlfriend, Virginia Parsons, 17, were driving from a boat in Mid Lake, and as the Plummer girl was swimming after about a drive, she suddenly called for aid, asking for help, and arrived. The 2 girls were members of a party of 6 San Fernando high school girls spending a vacation at the cottage of Mrs. Clyde Moody. We'll go on. Other members of the party witnessed the other girls distressed from the shore and were unable to render aid. Others in the party, in addition to Mrs. Plummer and Mrs. Parsons, the outing party included Anna Moody, daughter of hostess, Mary Lou Plummer, the victim's sister, Arnie Gale Maria, and Catherine McDonald. While notified of the drowning, the girls' parents, Mr. and Mrs. R.L. Plummer, in San Fernando, left for Lake Arrowhead in company of Clyde Moody, city attorney for San Fernando. So here we got this lady that drowns up in Lake Arrowhead, and the cottage is owned by the city attorney's wife. And they combine this in with Donna McElwaine. She gets her paper in the picture because she's related to the district attorney's wife, and they drowned her and sacrificed her allegedly. And the next day they take out Mary Nolan and throw my aunt off the pier. Okay, I've read everything I'm going to read now. I'm ending this stream. There's no life or love here. I'm sending a letter out to the coroner's inquest today, and we'll see what they have to say. Have a nice day.